happy belated birthday, Roxy. This is the Peace Dealer. And I hope you enjoy this Astro report. Your sister has gifted this to you, and I'm very excited to interpret this because your chart is what I like to call a legit, very legit, actually. And there are definitely certain themes I would like to get out the way. Starting with your rising, because your sun and moon here are already looking literally lit. But I want to explain how you were born literally with an alien construct at the god level. Okay, so you're effectively like an alien goddess. Okay. And I'm gonna be careful of how I say this because I don't want to sound like I'm flattering you or I'm gassing you up. This is nuts. This is very nuts. All right, the astrology of 91 and 92 is already nuts, but to see you embody it, mind you, Aries is the one. Okay, and I've been really loving the empowerment Aries has been coming into. Aries constantly, I like to see as the underdog, and they get overlooked. But like, y'all are the one, okay? Aries is literally the power of one. Think Mariah Carey, that every year gets paid millions of dollars just because she made one song. Okay, like, and the Aries sun and moon is a very classic archetype. It's the original heel, because Aries is the villain, Leo is the hero. Aries is like the original hero who turned villain, Anakin Skywalker, or they're like the anti-hero who is just seen as the villain because they do what they want, opposite status quo. The four anti-social signs are Aqua, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, because the social signs are Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio, where you have your legacy. So your legacy is here as you're meant to transform society and to unveil layers of wisdom and expose what needs to be transformed and purified. Something that squares Saturn, which we'll talk about. But that's the first thing I want to say. You're the one. Okay. And not only you're the one, you were born on a new moon. So you literally, when people are born on a new moon, it's an omen. When people are ready to start something new, they're going to meet you. Even me doing this reading for you right now is coming not only off the heels of a new moon in Aries with the eclipse that's impacting your stuff. Like, this can facilitate displacement in outgrowing old comfort zones and situating into a new home base of your own persona, where you feel comfortable really expressing your raw authenticity. Yeah, I'm going through a period where I'm ready to start, a brand new chapter of my life. Everyone is. So it's not a coincidence that I'm doing this reading with you. And this is the blessing you're going to give everyone. Certain people are different, where when they're going through endings and they're about to end or transform, they meet other kind of archetypes, like for me in a way. So seeing this is I'm just off rip is nuts. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make this weird, but your chart is nuts. I just have to be really honest with you. This is an incredible chart, but it's really ridiculous because you're effectively like an alien goddess. And I'm going to try my best to explain this without sounding like I'm gassing you up. If anything, I'm more terrified of you, because I have no doubt in my mind that if you were to get angry right now, if we were to get legitimately angry, and I don't mean like in the Aries way that gets passionate and people are like, oh, why are you mad? And then you're like, I'm not mad, I'm just passionate. Just because I'll throw hands and smack you in the face doesn't mean I'm really mad. And people understand that about Aries. Like, Aries is the warrior. You guys literally spark passion, and people can mistake that for something in a very, subtle nuance to just gaslight you. But, you can't really gaslight Aries like they're Cancer. Anyway, other than that, even though you are in the fourth house, which means that you're able to see the authentic nature of someone's character behind closed doors. So it's like you're able to see who someone is when they're at home just chilling. Even if they're in a suit in a corporate place, by the actions they take, you'll be like, oh, this person's a B word. Even if they're trying to act like they're the coolest. Like, you get to see that part. Or if someone is acting like they're not cool, but they're actually really authentic, you can see that. You see, the actions you take expose this in people, and you see this in authentic actions people take individually. But let's talk about the Capricorn rising, because that is nuts. Not only do you embody this unconventional supernatural power, Uranus and Neptune conjunct like this is once in a lifetime. This will never happen again, especially in Capricorn, until like at least another 165 years, or at least another 65 years. So like, you're legit, like, having a God level personality as a Capricorn rising represents that you embody integrity. So not only did you have the odds of being born right next to Uranus and Neptune, but then you were born while the North Node was in Cap. So you're not only destined for greatness, but you were chosen by destiny to unlock this incredible facet of your collective personality in order, through trials and tests, to really lead forward powerfully. Okay. And the beautiful thing about this is that, of course, this will enable you to hold space sincerely, as you can capture the real feelings people have when they hold space with you, whether they throw shade or throw love, so that you can maintain that integrity. But that's boring. Let me talk about the cool stuff. This is an alien construct. So I have this article you can watch. This is a Uranus alien construct. You can see the future, talk to anyone of any station or status, literally like express genius. And then the Neptune instrument aliens can reflect the god and goddess of each individual, assist the dying and crossing over. Check it out. It's some very weird, strange, supernatural stuff that, because I have my moon in Capricorn. So people born in the early 90s, with sun, moon, rising here, we have alien constructs. So I've experienced this. Like, I know what it's like to have the moon there. The rising is definitely more direct on, because now your body will move on its own. This is a very strange, weird quantum level of body mechanics that basically our bodies will register at a very, once again, godlike level. The minute body language of people, the minute fluctuations, especially with Jupiter and Virgo, you're able to kind of pinpoint in ways that you may not consciously process, but just get a feeling for. This is going to link directly to your instincts. So one, this could represent how your body, in relation to the nature of who other people are and their character, might accidentally slap someone in the face because in their head they were thinking about groping your butt. And like, maybe you didn't hear them say that physically, but like, you psychically picked that up, and now your hand just magically slapped them across the face. That's an extreme example, but that's how psychic you are. Like, you're going to really tap into these things. And that square to the Aries is going to represent how Capricorn puts the brake on Aries. It's like a leash in a way. Sometimes your personality can inhibit your own spirit and soul, because Capricorn understands organization and control, and Aries is raw. Aries is going to go for it. So this is a very powerful psychic aspect. It's not like traditional psychic in a Cancer way where you're feeling people's feelings. This is based on instinct, and the more you have this timed, the better you can get out your own way and truly flow. And given that you're destined for greatness, to really push yourself towards this development of personality, it really speaks to your unconventional greatness. I do want to add, with Neptune and Uranus here, there is now, being an instrument of this, a very uncanny revelation of people's characters you will just instantly, claircognizantly know, without really having to have the details of why you know. But you have Jupiter and Virgo, so you do have the best of both worlds. Claircognizance here with the second house Aqua, and then also the ability to analyze what you already knew before you had the details for, which is pretty pimp. All right, Jupiter, even though it's in the 8th house, connected to the 9th house, speaks of you being a very gifted teacher. You can take your imaginative attitude that's able to really abstractify what's possible, and then analyze using inductive or deductive reasoning to teach people the way an experience happens, how an experience happens, breaking down those details, taking everything you imagined and then finding real evidence for it without the need for confirmation bias. So you're very gifted at basically breaking shit down and exposing the facts to other people, excuse my language. And that's cool because you have knowledge. Capricorn rising has the strongest wealth house. Not only do you have Aquarius in a second house, which means you manifest knowledge. For example, your sister paid me because, she wanted to give you a reading. She wanted me to communicate the truth to her. So whereas you have a Cap rising, I have an individual personality, natural king, and my second house is Gemini. So I manifest money one-on-one because Taurus and Gemini and Aries, we're one-on-one. You and I both have individual spirits. It's just you have a God level personality. I have an individual personality. So people pay me one-on-one so I could talk to them. People are going to pay you so you can drop knowledge on their heads. And Saturn means that you are blessed with a totality of knowledge that you don't really need outside of yourself, and will enable you to anchor how the quality of your knowledge influences your friends around you and vice versa. Over 30 years since you were born, you have been unlocking this, and then you fully decompress this, of course, 2021 and 2022, where you have had your Saturn return. And now you're manifesting the nature and quality of the Saturn return by producing the effects on how the mastery of the knowledge you possess now masters the nature of how you imagine and set this divine attitude with divine abilities, hence having Mars and Venus here in Pisces, which is very divine, abstractifying a lot of how you can act off of your imagination while balancing what you can expand on the details is real, and just really polishing how beautifully and creatively you can imagine with Venus. It's very common to see very gifted graphic design artists or people who can draw with Venus and Pisces. All right, at the very least, your imagination is very rich and it can get you money. Okay, I'm going to include manifestation videos that you can check out, and practicing will give you instant results, especially because, Saturn in the second means that unlike just having knowledge, you're very knowledgeable. Like the Saturn Aquarius graduation generation, or the graduating class of Saturn and Aquarius of 91 and 92, y'all are some of the most knowledgeable people on the planet. And that, of course, is going to be controversial because Pluto is square here, something that didn't happen 62. And of course, now this next time that came through. So there is a conflict between older generations where you're having to really integrate the taboo relative to a much more detached understanding of how to work it versus older generations that will make more extreme certain things they may not have touched. But yeah, this really speaks to your ability to command wealth because you can literally drop a blog and express that knowledge collectively to people, opening up your pool of income that won't just be limited to one-on-one. And what's cool about this is it also reflects your network. So you can really control and harness the quality of your network to add to your net worth, which will intensify really the cult following, the cult-like following you're going to really develop this lifetime, whether you want to or not. So this is really cool because this could speak of being extremely hard on yourself when it comes to your self-esteem and how you might have given your power away out of not being the most confident in yourself. But Chiron and Leo is healed over time, how much you can, really deal with others courageously and to heal how confident other people are in themselves. But yeah, very, very, very gangster, especially when it speaks to the wealth you'll command now that you have an entire world of knowledge at your disposal to manifest and build on over the next 30 years. And that brings us back to Aries. You know what I mean? Like Mercury is 0 degrees. So the way you communicate, the way you feel, and the way you express your spirit is raw. It's a war. It's like a warrior. You are the original. Okay. As the director goddess, you are the original. So you understand just by looking in someone's eyes how evil they are, but you can understand how authentic they are and who they are as an individual. And this will really reflect in the hidden actions you take. Extrovert or introvert, you definitely gain a lot by making elements of your actions private, because now that's just the wisdom of the Capricorn rising that's going to move like the goat. So you are the goat, by the way. You're the one, but you're like the goat one, the great one. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you enjoy your birthday. Your chart is definitely legit, and you will always be a sparking light to fuel people down the right direction of their greatest authenticity. And you return people to who they originally are. If they're a B word, they won't like that. But if they're actually a cool person, you'll remind them that they're cool. You stay blessed as always. Peace.